over 100 subscribers. I can't thank you all enough. I've been making the effort to try and be a content creator, and I'm glad that it's starting to pay off a bit. I can't work on videos too much because of real life stuff, but I'm hoping to try and upload more. So if you're new here, maybe stick around and see what I upload in the future. Whether it be toy reviews, gaming, whatever. Thanks for 100 subscribers, and here's to 100 more. Anyway, let's talk about the psychotic murderer now. Considering how he loves classical music, the soundtrack has already been chosen out. So Tarn comes from the IDW comics. He is the leader of the DJD, also known as the Decepticon Justice Division. Basically, they kill and torture those who desert the Decepticon cause. And they are quite graphic characters. I'm surprised they'd make a toy out of them. But, well, here we are now. Despite how gorgeous the robot mode looks, we're going to start with the tank mode. If you haven't seen the tank mode before, you're probably going like, what the hell is this? It's something that you'd definitely not find on Earth. It's a Cybertronian tank, so it could technically look however it wants. If I could describe it in one word, it would be busy. There's a lot of purples and greys, including a bit of gold. But your attention is probably drawn right up to this big ass cannon. It feels like the entire point of the alt mode is just to carry around this thing. It's even posable, although up and down is a bit limited. You can't remove the gun, although it doesn't really do it any favors. It just shows how flat the tank mode is without the guns. Another flaw is how not great the back looks. I'm fine without the legs still, but the hands don't look that great. Although you can have a bit of fun with it. I suggest not looking at it from above because, yeah, it's a bit gappy. He prioritizes robot mode so much that alt mode ain't the greatest. And it can't even roll around. The plastic wheels are just fake. Megatron has no issue with it. Speaking of Megatron, here are the size comparisons. From this, I can tell that Tarn's alt mode is basically just small and flat. It isn't amazing, but you aren't either, so who wins? Anyway, onto the transformation and robot mode. Now this looks absolutely perfect. The sculpting, the painting, the absolute presence. It's a marvel to look at. It's like he jumped straight off the page. The posing's pretty good, and the transformation was really fun. Let's just wait a minute, because it isn't as perfect as I say it is. The design isn't one-to-one, like he isn't as bulky as he should be. And the twin fusion cannon is also a bit off. Do I care about these issues? Not really. These adjustments to the design are made so the toy is better, and to fit in the budget, but most of these are just guesses. Although the issues don't really end there, because it's flat, like the tank mode. It's just strange, considering how specific these issues are to this guy. But I don't mind this issue either. But we're not done, as these final problems I see as confusing. The posability is really good, like the legs are perfect, the arms are fine, but the shoulders just confuse me. They hinge out from inside the torso instead of the actual arm itself. The transformation probably wouldn't have even been affected at all. This decision is just baffling, since the posability takes a hit because of it. And then there's the transparent plastic. Transparent plastic can break over a period of time under stress. It's not as bad as something from Earthrise, but still ain't great. Some of the transparent tabs are starting to stress, so oh boy. Although, I have to admit, it improves the look of this guy. Put this guy on the shelf and he will look quite fine. Especially because of the face, or mask as I should say. It's not removable, but it doesn't need to be removable since it looks awesome. And with current day quality control, you know it would have just kept falling off. Also, considering how this is a comic book character, he doesn't really have a voice. I know the writer has a voice in mind for him, and one of his powers is literally just to talk people to death. But when I look at this mask, I hear a voice like,
"It's time to end tonight's foolish theatrics. Right now, you have no captive audience."
Probably just me who sees it. Anyway, using this guy for stop motion was surprisingly fun. The transformation was a bit hard, but all the joints hold together well, which makes this guy fun to pose, aside from the shoulders. Aside from that, I'm impressed with it. Comic fans would have been raging if this was worse in any way. Although, what about the size of this guy, you may wonder? Surely it must have been sacrificed in some way. Well, I'm not too sure. He would have been too big as a leader, and I like how he's a little shorter than Megatron. We do have to talk about a certain thing though. Will we get more characters of the DJD or just more comic characters in general? My guess is that we get a few more characters. The one I'd want the most would be Kaon, mostly because he turns into an electric chair, but that's just who I want. I look forward to whoever gets released in the future. And after all that, what's the consensus? Despite the design flaws, I'm not too bothered by the issues. It feels and looks amazing and is very accurate. So let's go with an 8 out of 10. I believe that's all to discuss, so have a good day.